Hello. In this video, I just wanted to talk to you about some of the interesting memories that were made on this patio. The monster that came to visit. And we have one of the little security guards over here. This is Baby. Hello, Baby. Hello. And I have a bunch of cats around my feet. Sasha and a few other ones. They are my guardians of my outside area that take care of all the critters for Mama. Yeah, most of them anyways. So I wanted to share this little story with you. You know, when you travel to tropical places, you don't really think about insects and animals and stuff other than, you know, if you experience something in Mexico, because we've all seemed to have gone to Mexico at one point in our life. But when I first moved to Panama, I never really thought of any of the insects or anything like that. So anyways, my story is, what do you have to say? What's going on? Huh? I'm trying to tell my story. And you're being all cute. I'm trying to tell my story, you know? And you're just taking over. So I usually come out to my patio about 8:30 at night just to check on the cats and make sure everything's put away and the dishes are empty, because I have quite a few dishes out for the cats. And this one particular night, I thought, oh wow, there's a couple of cats still eating. That's weird, 8:30 at night. And as I start approaching up to the food bowls, this big cat, or which I thought was my cat, I thought, oh, there's my Finny, there's my Finny. The fur was gorgeous. And as I got really close to who I thought was my Finny, my male cat, this thing turned its head around and I went, ah! And it went, ah! And it jumped up and over this fence behind me. And this is a 6-foot fence. One jump, boom, gone. And I thought, what the H-E-L toothpicks was that? So I run over to my neighbors, and I'm like, there's a monster on my patio. And I mean, I was really freaking out. Let me tell you, I was freaking out. And all I could remember, it was bigger than my cat, had a long tail like a kangaroo, and it cleared my fence. I've never seen anything like it. I couldn't really describe anything else because the scream just deleted everything out of my brain. So I was teaching English at the time. The next day I was in my classroom, and I'm an artist, so I drew a picture of what I saw on the board. And some of the Panamanian girls had come in, grade 6. And they said, oh, is that a guille in Spanish? And I said, yes, but what is that in English? And they didn't know how to translate it. And so I looked it up. Possum. So they have white-faced possums, which can be a little intimidating when you see the big ones that are bigger than a cat. So I felt a little silly. I'm from Canada. I know we have possums. I've never seen one, though, because I was in the big city. They don't really scare me, but when you're approaching something that you think is a cat on your patio, you think, there's my cute little cat. And you turn around and you say, you're not my cat. What the? Anyways. The next day, the next night, it was there again. Except I armed myself with education, read about them. They're very docile. They eat all the bad critters, including ticks and cockroaches and just the bad stuff that we don't like. I thought, oh, these are something this is a little animal I got to get to know. So she came back. I say she because they're all she's to me. And she was a she because when I came back out on the patio, she had 3 little babies with her eating the cat food. And they the little babies were walking on my fence line. This grows into a nice hedge with flowers. And they were walking, and she was on the patio eating the food. And let me just see if you can see the patio here. And I put the bowls of food down on the patio. So, anyways, she saw me. I didn't scream. I came out very slowly, and she jumped over the fence, and the babies went with her. And that continued to happen quite a bit. So I decided to just leave her alone. And she finally went away. And over the years, I don't know if it was her, maybe it was one of her babies, I'd get the odd possum visiting the patio. But it was a heart stopper. When you're not prepared to see something that's got this white mask on and a long snout, your heart's going to skip a beat. So that's my big monster on the patio story, because I told my neighbor it was a monster. My other story. So again, I'm closing up the house, and I'm at my back door, and you can see it way over there on the inside. And there's 3 cats looking at the door. And I'm like, what the heck are they looking at? They're on the inside, my cats, and they're looking at the door frame. And it's dark. I don't see anything. It's a screen door. So I crouched down to their level. And what do I see? Again, no screaming this time, just lack of breathing. There was a snake, a little green snake, about a foot long, 2 feet long, wrapped around the inside bars of my screen door on the inside. And it was so scared because it was eyeing these cats. And I thought, oh my goodness, how am I gonna get you out of this house? So my screen doors are not the fun doors to open. They're very cumbersome and tight and really hard on the hands. And I thought, I have one chance at kick at the cat, so to speak, to get this door open, and hopefully that snake is just going to jump out. And I didn't want my cats to pounce on it. I'm just not for that. I try to save everything that I can, if it's still in good shape, away from my cats. So anyways, I called on all the energies I could to help me out with this one, because this poor little snake was so scared, and he was just pitching a look at my cats. His little tongue was coming out, and he was not moving away, and he was not looking away, and the cats were not looking away. And I thought, oh lordy, this poor snake is scared snakeless. So anyways, I leaned over the cats, and I had my hand on the door, and you have to kind of turn the lock and push it. And I thought, okay, here you go. And I said, okay, buddy, as soon as I open this door, you got to jump for it. And sure enough, I pushed the door, and that snake jumped out of the frame. And boom, I didn't even see where it landed. It just looked like if I could have taped it in slow motion, it would have went ding, 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 just like the bionic snake. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I've never really had scary stuff in my house, because I do have 4 house cats that keep everything in order, and I have quite a few patio cats as well. But I still run into the situations. So I'm going to leave you with those 2 patio stories, and I have one more interesting story to tell you that took place in my palm tree beside the house, but we'll leave that for another video. So I also wanted to offer this. If you're down in this area, the Azuero Peninsula, or in Las Tablas, hit me up. Send me a text if you want to get together for a coffee. We can share stories. I would love that. Until we meet again, I'll be waiting right here for you in the next video. Ciao.